lawn, and the money went almost entirely to my growing collection of comics. One of my favorite memories is walking to our local drugstore with a single dollar in my pocket. The possibilities, situated on the comic book rack, seemed endless. I could buy regular comics for $0.25 apiece, or I could invest in a double volume, something like Superman Family, for 60 cents or so. No matter how long the choice took, it was certain that I would peruse through everything on the rack, reading most of them while I stood there, finally settling on just the right selection. Looking back, I am amazed that the drugstore owner was so patient. I was never reminded, "This is not a library." I was never chastised for loitering. Perhaps because they knew that I would be buying something. It was inevitable. I had to make a purchase because that comic would be read and reread and reread. My favorite superhero was the Flash. I lived under the delusion that I was super fast, so I naturally gravitated toward that hero. I was disabused of that fantasy when I ran junior high track. Following the exploits of the speedy Barry Allen opened the doors to more and more superheroes. Soon I was on my way to Smallville, Metropolis, and Gotham City, collecting a large number of Superman and Batman comics as well. Though partial to the DC world, I was no stranger to the Marvel Universe. I had a good collection of Spider-Man, Captain America, and Fantastic Four comics. Some in my collection were first editions, Superman Family and Man-Bat, to name a couple. Possessing these fantastic works of illustrated joy did not always work to my advantage. My collection was the envy of the neighborhood, and it was often a distraction. Friends would get lost at my house for hours, prompting their mothers to come and pull them out of the boxes of comics into which they had climbed. Whenever my cousins would come to town, I knew they would soon be found in my bedroom, pouring through my treasure chest full of comic gold. Not realizing, and probably not caring, that they might be valuable someday, I read those comics to literal pieces. And when I went away to college, my mother threw them all away. Every single one of them. She did the same thing with my baseball cards. You'll be happy to know that my mother and I are doing fine. I did not know any better than she did that they would have become collector's items. But that is not the most important thing about me. The most important thing about me is that I am a follower of Jesus. I first heard the gospel of Jesus Christ as a child, and I became a Christian at a young age, though I cannot tell you exactly when. I went to church every Sunday and lived a largely stagnant Christian life, staying out of trouble, but not really maturing much. And then I went to college. Most people would not choose a secular school like Oregon State University to get serious with the Lord, but that is what I did, and in God's kindness, it was all part of His plan for me. I got involved with the campus ministry, the Navigators, that changed my heart and my life. Bible study was a joy. Working with others for Christ's kingdom became my passion, and Jesus grew in magnitude in my understanding and life. I became convinced, and still am, that Jesus Christ is the most compelling, interesting, and remarkable person who ever lived. He is exactly who He claimed to be, precisely who the Bible teaches that He is, God in the flesh, the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. He owns me because He created me, died for me, bought me, and reigns over me. In every way possible, I owe Him my life. I went on to attend seminary and then later to teach at Western Seminary in Portland, Oregon. I love every minute of my job, except grading papers and attending faculty meetings. I get to work with and teach people committed to Christ and willing to serve Him wherever He would have them go. It is fantastic. And I still love comic books. Superheroes are still a lot of fun, whether their stories are told in print, cartoons, television dramas, or movies. I have enjoyed almost all of them. The Avengers, Iron Man, Thor, Ant-Man, Superman, Batman, Spider-Man, Arrow, The Flash, Daredevil. Television and movie content lately has been a comic lover's dream. But I have not just been amused and entertained. I have also been paying attention and have realized that there is something in the world of superheroes that transcends mere escapism. The superheroes represent humankind's best efforts to create saviors, demigods made in our own image, beings who are able to rescue us from the horrors that accost us all as humans. The thing is, our best attempts to create such heroes fall